Yesterday we did lesson 6.2. Today we go backwards and do lesson 6.1. And we're on the slope-intercept form. The only vocabulary word is the word slope-intercept form. And for slope-intercept form, it will have a slope, which we use the letter M, and it'll have a y-intercept, which will be 0, comma, and that'll be the B. This is B, your y-intercept. And then the equation for slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. So the m right here, this is your slope, not the x. I have some of you guys on your test, that last test you just took, you were supposed to write the slope, and you might write like, oh, the slope is 5x. It's not x. It's just, if it was 5x, the slope would just be 5. So it is not the x, it's the number, it's the coefficient in front of the x. And back here, this is your y-intercept. The b value, if it's positive, or it could be negative. Okay, let's look at example 1. It's going to ask you to write the equation in slope-intercept form. So yesterday and Monday we worked on point slope form, so that's when I have a point and the slope. Today we're doing slope-intercept, which is when you have slope and the y-intercept. So example 1a. The slope is 3. And 2, 5 is on the line. So I need to write this in slope-intercept form. I know the slope. So slope is always your m value. So here is your m, which is your 3. But the 2, 5, that is not your y-intercept. Y-intercept is always 0, something. So this has nothing to do with your y-intercept right now. So don't put the y-intercept's 5. However, we do know the slope and we know a point. So if I know the slope and a point, I can actually do point slope form first, and then we'll convert it into slope-intercept. So let's do y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. And this will be your x and your y with your sub 1s on it. So I have y minus, the y sub 1 value is 5, equals m, which is your slope, times x minus x sub 1 is 2. And now I'm just going to convert this into slope-intercept form. So we did this in your notes on Monday. The first thing we always look for is distributive property. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. And then the last thing we do is get rid of the constant. So add 5 and add 5. Bless you. And now it's in slope-intercept form. Y equals 3x minus 1. I'm also going to show you another way to do this. And again, with math, a lot of these things you can do in multiple ways. I don't care which way you do these problems. If you have a different way to do it, as long as you have work showing, I don't care which way you choose. So here's just a different way. If I know the slope and I know a point, I could also use slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. If I know that m, the slope is 3, and then I have that point 2, 5. So this is an x and this is a y. So right now I know my m value, I know a value for x, and I know a value for y. I can plug them into this equation and solve it for b to figure out what the y-intercept is. So y is the number 5 equals m, slope is 3. mx means you're multiplying, right, because they're next to each other. So 3 times whatever x is, so 3 times 2. I don't know what the b value is. 3 times 2 is 6. Look at the side that has the variable. Get rid of the constant, so get rid of positive 6. 5 take away 6 is negative 1. So your b value would be negative 1. So the equation is y equals, we know the m, the slope, y equals 3x, and then the y-intercept is negative 1. You should have the same exact slope-intercept form. So both of those work. I don't care which way you choose to do. I like that you have multiple ways to do it. Whichever way makes sense for you is the way you should do it. Okay, let's do another one like that. And of course, you don't have to do it both ways. I don't suggest doing that. That would just take too much time. You don't need to do both ways. Just pick one way to do it. Okay, 1b. This one's a little bit different. Where again, we need to find the equation in slope-intercept form. So it needs to finish. Your final answer is going to be in y equals mx plus b format. I want it for a line that passes through 0, 5 and 2, 13. I need the equation of a line that passes through 0, 5 and 2, 13. So right now I have 2 points. I don't know the slope, but I have 2 points. Well, we know if we have 2 points, we can just calculate the slope. So let's go ahead and figure out the slope from the 2 points. To find slope, remember we list x, y, put sub 1s on the first point and sub 2s on the second point. Okay, go ahead and calculate the slope. Everyone should be doing this. No one should just be sitting there waiting for me to do the work. You need to be actively engaged in learning this and not just daydreaming. This is all stuff you learned last year, so this should just be kind of a review. So you should be doing slope y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And then simplify that. 13 take away 5 is what, 8? 2 take, is it 7? No, it's 8. 2 take away 0 is 2. 8 over 2 can be reduced to 4. So that's our m value, right? So if it helps, if you forget that, just put m near it as your reminder. I don't know why they use m, but that's slope. Okay, so I know the slope, and I have 2 different points. So from here, you can use the slope and use one of the points and put it into point slope form. However, one of the points is 0, 5. Remember, the y-intercept is always 0, something. Sometimes they'll just give you that as one of the points. So right now, this is one of the points. So I already know what the y-intercept is. The y-intercept is 5 because it's one of the points. So the y-intercept is positive 5. So now I know the y-intercept and I know the slope. So I can put it into slope-intercept form now. Y equals, the slope is 4. Then we put our x, and then we put our y-intercept. It's a positive 5, so put plus 5. If it was negative 5, we'd put minus 5. And that's it. If they did not give you the y-intercept, you would have used the slope and one of the points and done point slope form and then converted that into slope-intercept form. But sometimes you'll luck out and they'll just give you one of the points will be the y-intercept. Okay, now you're going to do one on your own, or you can actually work in your groups. Okay, the slope is -1. And 3, 2 is on the line. Go ahead and write me an equation in slope-intercept form, not point-slope. Make sure it's slope-intercept. Sir? So this is just one way to do it. You could have done it a different way. -1x is the same as -x. So y equals -x plus 5. Raise your hand if you did get that one right. Okay. I won't mark it wrong. I don't know about HMH though. My guess is HMH might mark it wrong. But if you left it as -1x, I will not mark that wrong in a test. That I'm fine with. I don't know about HMH though. I have a feeling they'd probably take points off. Okay, let's try another one on your own. Okay, the line passes through. Passes. 1, 4 and 3, 18. The line passes through 1, 4 and 3, 18. So this is just like the example we just did. However, they don't give us the y-intercept here. So you're going to have to figure out the slope first, then pick one of the points and do point slope and convert point slope into slope intercept. So first, go find slope. Everybody find slope. When you're done with that, then do point slope. And then finally, slope intercept. So first I calculated slope. Slope was 7, or 7 over 1. I used the first point. If you use the second point, that's okay. This equation will be different, but your final equation will be the same. Remember, do distributive property first, and then move the constant over. Raise your hand if you got that one right. Yay? Okay. Okay, moving on to example 2 now. Now we're going to be graphing. If graphing is hard for you, my flex time for tomorrow is practicing graphing slope-intercept. So sign up for my flex time if you need extra practice. Okay, this is example 2. The directions say write in slope-intercept. And graph. So you're going to have to do 2 things here. First, you have to make sure you give me the equation in slope-intercept form, and then you have to graph it. So you are going to need graph paper. So if you don't have graph paper right now, go to my table and go get some graph paper. You're not doing this on notebook paper. Oh, then as long as there's a graph there. I just don't want to see notebook paper with like lines drawn in. Okay, 2a. Y equals 5x minus 4. Okay, this is already in slope-intercept form, so we don't need to do anything. It's already slope-intercept form, right? Because slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So your slope is your m. And then your y-intercept is there. Okay, your slope is 5. However, when we're graphing slope, it's easier if it's actually a fraction. So let's make slope into a fraction. So the number 5 as a fraction is just 5 over 1, right? Are you two okay over there? You're like, I learned this last year from the best math teacher, so I don't need to pay attention today because she beat this into my head last year. Okay, slope is always change in y over change in x. Okay, when we're doing the graph, the y is the up and down, right? So this is a positive 5. So for up and down, do you think positive means you're going up or going down? Okay, so that means when we go to do this graph or plot the points, you're going to go up 5 because it's a positive 5. This is a positive x, so x is your left and right. So if you imagine a number line, and you're just sitting here in the middle of it. If I'm going positive, am I going left or am I going right? You're going right. So you're going to go up 5 and then to the right 1. Okay, the y-intercept is where we start though. And the y-intercept is the b value. The symbol that's in front of it matters. So it's always going to be 0, comma, and then whatever that is. It could be a positive or it could be a minus. This says -4, so it has to be -4. Okay, grab your graph paper. Make sure you give it enough space that you're going down to at least -4 on the y-axis. Okay, when we graph this, we always start at the y-intercept. So at -4 on your y-axis, put a dot. On your y-axis, go to -4 and put a dot. So go to 0, 0, go 1, 2, 3, 4, put a dot at your y-intercept, because that's where it's going to hit the y-axis. Okay, from here, now we're going to use the slope. We're going to go up 5 units, 1 to the right, and then put a new dot. I always have people that want to go up 5 and just put a dot there. You have to go up 5 and 1 to the right. So start at the y-intercept, go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 to the right, and now put a new dot. If you have space to do that again, go ahead and do that again. So start at that dot and go up 5, and then 1 to the right. These are linear, so you should be seeing a straight line. If not, you're doing something wrong. I do prefer you to have 3 points at least, if there's space for them, and then grab a straight edge. So if you have your student ID, that works out perfectly. Your line should be nice and long. It should be taking up your entire graph, and then it does have to have arrows because the line goes on forever. And then that is the graph for y equals 5x minus 4. And keep in mind, 5 is positive, so we have positive slope. So if you look at your line should be going up because it has positive slope. Okay, if you did that on graph paper, cut it out and glue it into your notes. If you're noticing you're running out of paper, you guys are going to need so much graph paper this year. Go get some graph paper, please, because I am 100% going to run out of graph paper soon. So I don't mind you guys using mine, but I do not have enough for everyone to use it all year long. Okay, 2b. The equation is 2x plus 6y equals 6. Okay, again, the directions were to put this into slope-intercept form and graph it. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So right now, this is not in slope-intercept form. So we're going to go ahead and convert this into slope-intercept form first. So we need to get y by itself. I need everybody paying attention right now. If it helps, draw your line going down from your equal sign. Look at the side that has the y. Get rid of the other term. So we're going to get rid of 2x's. To get rid of them completely is always adding and subtracting, guys, always. So to get rid of it completely, this is a positive 2x, so I need to subtract 2x's. If If I subtract 2x's from one side, you have to do it to the other. That's the subtraction property of equality. 2x's. Take away 2x's is now no more x's. So that's how I got rid of it. I still have a positive 6y. Bring down your equal sign. And then put your negative 2x plus 6. Okay, right now, y is still not by itself. I need to get rid of the 6. I need the y to stay there. So sometimes I see you guys do minus 6. You can't take 6 away from 6y's. They're not like terms. So to get rid of this 6, this is where we divide. Because right now it says 6 times y, so to get rid of the 6, we divide by 6. If I divide one side by 6, I got to divide everything on the other side also by 6. Okay, 6 divided by 6. Anything divided by itself is 1, right? 6 divided by 6 is 1. So I have 1y. Negative 2 divided by 6. So just reduce that. Leave it as a fraction. I have a lot of you guys that keep wanting to put this as 0.3. This is not 0.3, guys. Negative 2 divided by 6 is negative 1/3. And that is not 0.3. I will mark that wrong. Keep your x. The x still stays there. 6 divided by 6 is 1, not 0. I still have a lot of you guys that put 0 on that. Okay, so now it is in slope-intercept form, right? Now it's in y equals mx plus b. So I know the slope. The slope is negative 1/3. That negative, put it on one of your numbers. Put it on the 1 or put it on the 3. Don't put it on both. Because if you put negative 1 over negative 3, a negative divided by negative is positive. That's actually positive slope. So I'm going to put it on the 1. So I'm going to put negative 1 over positive 3. Remember, slope is y over x. So if you think about y, that's your up and down axis, vertical. If I'm going negative, do you think I'm going up or down, everybody? You're going to be going down 1 unit. The x is positive, so that's your left and right. So if you're going positive 3, which direction do you think you're going? To the right. Also, you could do this the flip side of it. Instead of putting the negative on the 1, let's try positive 1 over negative 3. So if I go positive on the y, that means I'm going to go up 1 unit. If I go negative on the x, I'm going to go left 3 units. These are the same thing, guys. When you go to graph it, it'll still be a straight line. And then we know the y-intercept, which is where we start. The y-intercept is going to be at 0, positive 1. Remember, you always start by graphing the y-intercept. Okay, grab your graph paper. We always graph the y-intercept first. So go to your y-axis, go to positive 1, and put a dot. Okay, I'm going to do both of these slopes. I'm going to first start with this top slope where I did negative 1 over positive 3. So on the y, I'm going to go negative 1. So start at your y-intercept, go down 1, and then go positive 3. Put a new dot there. I can do that again. Go down 1, positive 3 over. Okay, I also want to show you the second one where we did positive y over negative x. So start at your y-intercept, go positive 1, so we're going to go up 1 unit, and now we're going to go backwards 3. 1, 2, 3, up 1, backwards 3. It should still make a straight line if you're doing it correctly. Okay, use your student ID or use something with a straight edge. You are not hand drawing in those lines. Some of you have realized I marked that wrong on your tests. If you hand draw in your line, it's way too messy. I like it to be precise. And then when you're happy with that, go ahead and glue that into your notes. This is the graph for 2x plus 6y equals 6. Okay, ready to do some on your own? Yay! Does anyone still need this up? And you can work with your group on this. This is number 3. Okay, the equation is 2x plus y equals 4. 2x plus y equals 4. So first, put it into slope-intercept form, and then you're going to graph it. If you struggle with this, I have my flex this week is all on this. So if you want to come in for flex, make sure you sign up. So you started at 0, 4. And then keep in mind your slope was negative, right? So when you look at your line, it should be coming down with negative slope. Questions there? Okay, let's do one more for today and then we'll stop for today. Um, 2x plus 3y's. We'll do example 3 tomorrow. So we're on number 4. 2x plus 3y equals 6. First, put that into slope-intercept form. Okay, check yours. It should have negative slope. So as you're going left to right, so from left to right, the line should be coming down. If you're still struggling on this, I expect you guys to sign up for my flex. Okay, we'll continue with this lesson tomorrow. A lot of you guys are missing work. It is not playtime right now. Your phones are not coming out. Don't even think about it. Go check Power Schools right now. Some of you guys owe me some work.